Hey guys, what's up? It's TennyBox here. Welcome back to another video. I'm back in my room set up, back from Ohio, and I am here to review the next episode of Scooby Doo and Guess Who, which I believe this is episode 4 now, so that's exciting. This episode guest starred Sherlock Holmes, or a crackpot Englishman that was pretending to be Sherlock Holmes because it's canon in the Scooby Doo universe that he's a fictional character, which he is obviously in real life. So you got fictional characters telling another person that he's fictional. It's kind of funny. And you really don't know if it's actually Sherlock Holmes in the context of the episode, which I thought was kind of funny. I just went on the assumption that it was just some crackpot Englishman, just like, yeah, I'm Sherlock Holmes, or whatever, the English accent that I'm not going to imitate because I cannot do an English accent. But this episode was actually decent. I really did like this episode quite a bit. Okay. I've said this in like almost every other episode, and I feel like I'm getting closer to my conclusion of like kind of the whole series. It's not a terrible series. It's pretty good if you don't like the mystery aspect of Scooby Doo. If that makes any sense. Sure, there's a mystery in this, and it's actually, I think, the most intriguing one out of all of them so far. Even though it's literally just criminals going after the crown jewels in London. Um, there is something there. Like, there's a reason why somebody would want to do that, And on the other ones, it's very, like, loosely based mystery. This one, it's like, yeah, sure, it's a simplistic idea. It's like, oh, they want to steal jewels. But I like Scooby-Doo like that. I don't want it to be like, well, this villain's taking these blueprints to go build a, thing to blow up the world or whatever. Something stupid like that. I don't know. I always like Scooby Doo when it was a lot more simplistic, with just like, you know, uh, real estate fraud or scams, or trying to scare people off the land, or thievery, stuff like that, or trying to steal the treasure. And this episode's very much like that. And the reason why I said before, where it was like, where I said that the mystery isn't like the most important aspect, and if you want to watch this, don't watch it for the mystery. I genuinely do believe that to a certain extent. I think this episode was like 30% mystery, 70% comedy. And the comedy is pretty good. It wasn't over the top and it wasn't obnoxious. There was like only one or two scenes where I had to like roll my eyes at. And those was mostly Sherlock Holmes being over the top and just a little bit random. But he genuinely did bring some laughs out of me. He was a really funny character. I think him and Wanda Sykes have been the best characters so far. Chris Paul was okay. He had a few funny lines. Who was the second person? I legitimately already forgot. Who it was the ghost guy. Oh, it was Abraham Lincoln. That's what it was. That was awful. It was. I don't want to say awful. That sounds mean. He wasn't. He's been my least favorite so far of the guest stars. I'll say that. I'd say best one so far. Man, it's a close competition between Wanda Sykes and Sherlock Holmes, because Wanda Sykes is genuinely funny, and Sherlock Holmes is like an ironic kind of funny, where it's like he just says crazy things. Wanda Sykes is funny because she's a comedian and just hilarious. I don't know. I'm not gonna rank it right now. I'll maybe do a ranking video at the very end of all this, so the whole series, or the whole season. Man, but this episode, like I said, I pretty much just described the whole thing. There's screaming skulls in London, and they're going around terrifying people, and they're trying to steal the crown jewels. I did like how the screams that they made were very reminiscent of one of the monsters from Scooby Doo. Where Are You? The Phantom. In one of the very first episodes. I think it was like the third or fourth episode. But the Phantom of Vasquez Castle. It was like a. I'm never gonna do that sound again in my entire life. That's not true. I do it all the time. It sounded very reminiscent of that, and I was like, I almost got like a little grin on my face, like, oh, cool, nostalgia, yay. I don't know if they were purposely or intentionally doing that, but I just thought that was amusing. But like I said, the guests are pretty decent. I like the fact that the gang even alludes to this guy, and everyone else is like, this guy is literally not even Sherlock Holmes. He's just some crackpot that's role-playing and just going nuts, and he probably is the bad guy, but we find out later that he isn't. I was a little bit confused by that, even on the assumption that we know that the monster is going to definitely be a projection of something with other, stuff involved, which it ends up being. There's no way that, like, in one of the scenes before they accuse Sherlock Holmes of being the monster, Sherlock Holmes is running away from the monster with them in plain sight. So I was kind of confused by that notion where they were like all of a sudden just now coming to the conclusion like, oh, maybe Sherlock Holmes is the bad guy. I don't know. That was a little bit weird. I get it. It's just to put some conflict in there, but it was fine. It just felt very bizarre. I wish they would have done that beforehand when the monster was like, maybe have like a scene where Sherlock Holmes isn't with them when the monster's there. I don't know. Other than that, like the episode's good, but that part of it kind of bothered me a little bit. I don't know if I'm being nitpicky. I probably am, and I apologize if I do sound nitpicky. I'm trying not to be. I'm trying to criticize the show in a fair manner, but also not be like too biased. Because I love Scooby Doo, guys. Like I'm not gonna get it out now, but I have Scooby Doo stuff everywhere. Actually, there's a surprise video I want to bring to you guys. That we had some guy painted it. I'm not gonna spoil it. It's going to be its own video. It'll be really cool for Scooby-Doo fans, and I honestly cannot wait to show it. I'm going to eventually hang it up in the background, if that gives you any clue. I don't know if it's actually... It's going to be a while before that happens. It's very heavy. That's my only clue I'll give. It's a very heavy Scooby-Doo themed something. But yeah, this episode was good. It was, I think, in terms of mystery-wise and character-wise, joke-wise, too even... It was better than the last episode with Wanda Sykes. Wanda Sykes was funny, but I think this one was more consistently funny. You know what I mean? Like, Wanda Sykes brought out some laugh-out-loud moments, and Magilla Gorilla brought some laugh-out-loud moments. And I'm glad that this one didn't rely on a random Hanna-Barbera, like, third entity or just an entity of character just to solve the mystery randomly, like how Magilla just came in and saved the day randomly for no apparent reason, just other than the loosely based fact that they were in a pet shop and Magilla could be a pet. It's like, oh man, I just don't... I liked it, don't get me wrong, but it was just so... I wish they would have developed that character more than randomly just like, hey, I'm a Hanna-Barbera entity. Like, show some respect to the... I know they're showing respect to it by putting him in there, but I wish they would have developed it more, you know? I feel like that'd be a lot more respectful if they, like, showed Magilla from the very beginning, then have people, like, maybe do, like, 2 guest stars, like, this episode starring Wanda Sykes and Magilla Gorilla. And then, obviously, like, the whole... I don't know. I'm talking about the last episode in this review. I'm sorry. It was kind of weird not seeing another, like, Hanna-Barbera character in this, unless I missed something completely obvious or very subtle. I didn't see anything. This is, like, the first episode, I think. Episode 2 had the Funky Phantom, right? And oh, God, what are the Dune Buggy people? Oh, man. I forgot what their names, and I watched that cartoon. Episode 1. Did episode 1 have any characters from Hanna-Barbera cartoons? An entity of Warner Brothers, even? I mean, other than, of course, Scooby Doo. I don't know. This episode was really good. I'm going to stop rambling about the past episodes because that's stupid. This is the review for episode 4. Very good episode. I would strongly recommend you guys go watch it. I'm still going to go on the rule of saying if you want to watch it, wait until everything's out first. Even if this show ends up gets way, way better, which it could be way better, but it's good right now. It's a good show right now. I'm just saying, for the sake of your guys' money, if you want to do a 7-day free trial, I think it is, or maybe it's only like a 3-day free trial. I think it is a week. I'm pretty sure it's a week. I'm fairly certain. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I'm sure you guys will. I'm just saying, save your money and wait till the end. Even if it's like the best show, if it ends up being the best Scooby Doo show from here on out, which right now it isn't, in my opinion, just wait until it's all out, even if it ends up being the best show, because you're saving more money. You don't want to wait another 5 weeks or 6 weeks or 7 weeks or whatever. How many episodes are left? I think there's actually 9 left, because I think there's 13 altogether. So it's probably like 9 more weeks of stuff. And you don't want to pay like 3 months of Boomerang if you're not into the show, if that makes any sense. If you know you're kind of skeptical about it, wait until the show is completely released or very close to being completely released, and then get your account then. And I honestly would love to be a sponsor of Boomerang. That's never going to happen because I'm too critical. I'm sorry. I genuinely do love Boomerang. It's a really, really good service. I do love this cartoon. It's just that the first 2 episodes were so meh that I was really thrown off by it. I've got to be completely honest. I don't know if it's just me not getting used to it. Maybe I'll go back and rewatch those at some point. Maybe after the entire series is done. Maybe I just had to get warmed up to the idea of Scooby-Doo as more of a comedy than for the mystery. But I do genuinely still, from my memory, from when I've watched the first 2, The comedy was way too over the top. But the last two have been really tame and really good. Sure, there have been some over the top moments, but those were more funny than not, in my opinion. Yeah, I definitely recommend that you guys go check out this episode when you want to. Like I said, I'd wait until it's all out on almost a DVD, not DVD, but on Boomerang. That's the word I was looking for. Jeez. And if you have any other suggestions for me for videos, and just let me know in the comment section down below. I'm always down to do more reviews. I need to record a new episode of Does It Hold Up, which is a series where I go back and play old video games and let you, like, do a live, almost, like, review, where I, like, play it for 10, 15, 20 minutes and say, does it hold up? And it's actually pretty fun series. I've had a lot of fun with that so far. But if you like any of that content, just go check it out. Oh, and I was going to mention this at the beginning of the video. Yesterday, when I was in Ohio, we hit 1,000 subscribers on the channel, which is absolutely mind-boggling and astounding and insane. I never, ever thought I'd see that number. People probably are going to say, like, oh, that's dumb. 1,000 isn't that many. Well, consider this. Like, for me, I've been doing YouTube for this channel, Tennybox. I've had this channel, I think, since freshman year of high school, and I think that's, like, 6 years ago? 7? I think it's 6 years, because I've been making content on YouTube for, this will be the 10th year, and that is really, really crazy. I genuinely don't know how to process that. 10 years. Whew. 10. Wow. Okay. That's insane. My brain just went... Thanks for watching this video, guys. Go check out this new episode of... I almost said Be Cool, Scooby Doo. Guess Who, Scooby Doo, or Scooby Doo and Guess Who. I really wish they would rename it to Guess Who, Scooby Doo. That sounds way better to say. I'm going to keep saying that till the end of time for this review series. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Keep calm, trust your instincts, and I will see you guys in the next one. If you want, feel free to subscribe. I'm sure that now that we hit 1,000 subscribers, somebody's going to unsub and send it back to $9.99, which somebody did actually do yesterday. It was pretty funny, and then somebody else subscribed later that night, or technically morning, so it was like 12:30 or 1 in the morning. Either way. Feel free, if you want to subscribe, that's awesome. If you want to unsubscribe too, that's fine too. I'm sorry that I disappointed you in some way. Have yourselves a fantastic day. Keep on trust your instincts, and sorry for this long outro. Peace out.